Yeah, what seems to be separate things is just one thing. There isn't a real separation. Even what seems to be bad is also an expression of everything. In this, there's no good and bad, but uh, because of the each in about what's good and bad, that will, it may seem to arise as well that, oh, that is bad or that is good, but it's all just one thing expressing as that. There isn't any bad thing or good thing. It's just what you may say. There are lower expressions, higher expressions, but everything is this. So nothing can be lost in this because everything is, nothing can be lost in everything, you know, because there's no separation. And time is unreal. It's not real because there's no distance. Time can be used to measure the distance, but here there's no distance, so there's no time. There's really nowhere to get to. Every expression it is. There is no separate experiencer of what's just happening. The experiencer, the experiencer can only be this, because there's only this. There's nothing. There isn't a you who's separate, who's experiencing life. There's totality experiencing itself, experiencing itself as a child who's living life, who has a family, who's working. It's not, there's no real chance. There's just what is totality expressing as that. So if what seems to be suffering appears, is so just totality appearing as suffering. There isn't anybody who's suffering. So it all comes down to what you take yourself to be. When I say you, I'm not referring to anybody. I'm referring to the that's which is always that nameless, formless, indescribable, uh, nothing is the only thing there is. There isn't anything outside of know it and become it. So if there is complaining, disappearing as that. If there is wandering, it's just disappearing as that. If there's a huge explosion, it's this appearing as that. If there is an issue at work, to be sorted, it's just this appearing as that. So there isn't anybody who's going any 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 stuff or any problem. There's just totality experiencing. It's the only thing that is. So it may seem it may seem to divide itself and to experience itself. Because if if it's just the way it is, then it can't experience itself because it's just there's nothing to be done. Really, there's really nothing to be done because it's the only thing there is. So this what seems creation is just it trying or experiencing itself. Or the separate self or the imaginary separate self is just totality experiencing itself in that expression. So it's beautiful. That's why I always say it's beautiful. Every story is beautiful, you know. So what's happening is not personal. It's not happening to somebody who's separate. No, it's just the totality experiencing itself in every aspect of itself. It loves itself. It may in the story it may appear to hate itself, uh, become jealous of itself, um, have anger, be angry against its own self. But it is the way it plays, because there's nothing else to be done. There's really nothing else to be done because it's all there is. It's just it's complete already. So that's how it plays. Plays as a you and me talking, as some people fighting each other, pointing fingers. It's just a play. It doesn't need to be taken seriously. It's just a play. And there's no beginning and there's no end to this. So there's no rush. Life never ends because it never began. So this is beautiful. This is beautiful already because there's no one here to suffer already. There's just everything. And there's nobody to know everything because there's no distance. There's no separation. There's no dividing line already. And right here is no one who knows something. There may be a projection that they hear, okay, but it's just an appearance. That's just an imagination. There's nobody here. There's just talking happening, which is not talking, it's just a sound that is being made. That's a meaning was imposed in it. So this, as it's happening right now, is more like birds chirping. You know. chip, 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 chip. If that was given a meaning, then it
I'm getting eaten up by mosquitoes. That's why I keep on jostling around here.
oh, so
Hmm?
wanna go inside?
Well,
Inside?
most of watching TV, and yeah, this is really the only place I think I can get close to the wireless. It's okay.
Okay.
There's no one to be
Uh,
eaten by mosquitoes.
you never gone anywhere. You've never done anything. You've never done anything. There is no past. There is no future. It's just this. It's beyond any description. It cannot be described. There is no word that can actually describe what this is. This is. It can never be known. It can never be understood because it's the only thing that is. It's it's everything. If it says, "Oh, I know it," it's still it. If something says, "I don't know it," it's still it. If something says, "I hate it," it's still it. If something says, "Ah, I'm giving up," it's still it. If something's, "Oh, that's boring," it's still it. So there is no escape. There is no escape.
So when you have problems, you just know this perspective and watch. Do you pray? Do you meddle? Do you see?
Um,
Do you visualize?
um, I may say that that which say I is just imaginary. It's just an imagination. What you really are doesn't have a problem. And what you really are, that which is from behind those eyes. Eyes don't see, but that's what you are sees. It doesn't require eyes to see. It may seem local, but never really local. It's everywhere present. That seeing from behind those eyes is not a man or a woman, and that seeing from those eyes doesn't have any problem. It does not suffer. It doesn't know suffer. It is as it is. It's not a man or a woman. It's not a human being. It's not a death because it was never born. You are dead already. Doesn't need any. That doesn't need to make any effort to become itself. It's already itself. So if they free as well, there may be a looking happening that's okay. Who's the sufferer? Really, what you are does not suffer, doesn't have a problem, then who has a problem?
Yet, yet the experiencer experiences suffering, even if there's no one who suffers.
Yeah, there's no one. Just simply accepts what is, accepts every aspect of yourself. Then no judgment. Without any judgment, then
There's no problems.
yeah, there are no problems. Okay. Who is there to suffer? Who says I have a problem? Can that be found? Can that be seen? And by whom? So I may say, stabilize your attention in that thoughtless space where thoughts appear and disappear. Thoughts are not always there. They come and go in that space, doesn't come and stabilize your attention there. Then you've seen that you have never suffered. You have never been a human being. And that doesn't require any efforts. What you are doesn't require any efforts. That which is effortless and obvious is already what. That which seems to be making an effort is just an appearance in you. I may also ask that what is it that's here that doesn't make any effort to be
Dang.
anything, to know anything?
It's the seeing.
Yes. Some they call it awareness, consciousness, but as it is, it's nameless.
You're still going in and out here a bit. It is what it is.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. It's just like every 40 seconds or something, it lags for 5 seconds, maybe. So
Oh,
there's gaps. Bats. Bats in the sky.
how big are they?
Not big. Their bodies are probably like this, but their wings will be about like that. Yeah, not big. They eat the mosquitoes, I
I,
think.
oh, yeah. Yeah. Wow. I think they are the same size as the ones we have here. They are also this big.
Yeah.
Their wingspan is like
So I've seen some in both India and Tanzania that are just like eagles, huge wings,
wow.
huge bats. Yeah, they're really amazing. There was some tree in India. It was like hundreds of, bats that were like this long hanging upside down. And others like trying to like flying around trying to get a spot on it. And so that's their bodies are like that long, and it's like they're like flying big long flying rats or something. And then just huge wings and these, little claws. It's just amazing to look at.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
Monkeys,
if
like
I
flying monkeys.
Hey, they are very huge. They are very huge. Very huge.
Oh, thank you for your words.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know, I know that sometimes knowing that and getting there are two very separate things. You know, sometimes there's just a gap. Make time to be in the forest. I can commune. I can see, but still, the mind keeps crunching on the problems, to be solved.
Yeah.
Sometimes I get a respite and then I keep crunching and get a respite, keep on crunching, taking me away from the moment. And then the day will start and meetings will happen and things to do will happen and I will do the things and I'll love it and life will be nice. But often, yeah, I mean, I guess it's just,
Yeah, it's
sorry, go ahead.
okay. Yeah, at times it may be just this compulsive thinking. I thought after thought, intent. A space between thoughts is very important. And that space expanded because really, usually it's very small because there's a thought thought comes when it's finished, another one comes. But when that space expands, then it will seem as if there will seem to be that expansion happening. They are seen clearly. There's, there's no separation. But when the thought comes, finishes, and comes immediately. So if your attention can be stabilized, it's space between thought that has not thought. That space where even uh, or a thought may come and say, "Oh, it's boring, boring." Think about something interesting. So I would say that thought is more like a devil. It just tries to really that space when the attention is kept there. it will seem to expand. Then what seems to be the center, it may be seen that it's there, it's just imaginary. And same goes with the problems. They weren't there. They were not problems because there was no victim in the first place, you know. So I already your whole entire life is just a thought. It's just a thought. There is to be a bundle of information that was believed over the years. That bundle of information, it is the one that seems to say, oh, I'm suffering, oh, life is difficult. It's already not there. It's already not there. There is no sufferer. There is no sufferer already. There's emptiness. And emptiness is the one that is talking right now. Not Nkosi here. There's no one here. There's no Charles here. That which is listening is not Charles. It's just this. And that which is talking right now, it's nothing. It's empty.
I'm looking pretty scary here in the dark. Floating elderly white head. Maybe I'll turn the light on.
Yeah.
There we go. There's a little less scary. The blue the sky is. We can't see the forest, I guess.
Yeah. And
It's,
the sky.
yeah.
So that which is from behind is is not a human being. It's not Charles. Charles is the name of the body. That's what you are, is nameless. It's what you are is what I am. It's the same thing. Into itself, wearing a mask. So this is empty. So that which seems uh, to say things in the mind It's just, it's not, it's just a thought. Or I should say it's just an appearance in you. It's not what you really are. It may say anything. It may say, oh, I'm listening. Now I'm getting it. Or I'm not getting it now. Oh, I'm old. No, it's hot in here. So that's keeps on going on and on. That's just an information. It's just a voice in the head. It's nothing. It's not special. The background where that seems to happen is just there. It's not trying to solve anything. It's not just waiting. It's not doing anything. It's just watching without interest. Interest. It's not interested in what is being watched. Doesn't mind. So it's just watching also the story. It doesn't mind the story. It's not affected by it. It's not get rid of it. So what when uh, that which seems to be separate, which is also this, aligned with that which is always stable, that backdrop, then life may enjoy it, you know, may seem to enjoy every activity.
Even the suffering.
Yeah.
So that's the answer to my question to you earlier. What happens when Nkosi suffers? He enjoys it.
Yeah. Yeah, it is enjoyed.
It's enjoyed.
Because things are seen as they are. When in that emptiness, yeah. And then when somebody talks, say, you are wrong. You are very wrong. You need to change. It's like doesn't stick because there's no one here. There's no one there. There's no one. You may look now. There's nobody there. Look where you're looking from. Behind those eyes. That looking, it's empty. There's no one there. There can be uh, a thought that arises and oh, you know, I'm so and so. But really, who are you without referring to the past, without thinking who I without thinking or referring to the past, who are you now?
Nothing.
Sorry?
I'm nothing.
Yes, exactly. Always that. And they may thought that comes and say that wants to say something about nothing, but you can't be just nothing. You know, you have a you have a life to live. You have a family. You have a job. And you can't just. But you are nothing. Yeah, there is really no effort uh, to what you are. You're already what you are. There's no effort. There may be a, a position or maybe a, I don't know how to put this. Looking itself, the looking itself is formless and empty. But there may seem to be an imagination that arises as a result of the knowledge and memory that arises. Uh, it may seem to override that looking and say, oh, I'm in this. Really, what you really are is that which is looking without any information, bundling of information of the past, the knowledge, what you are is just stable, move, it's not waiting, it's not trying, it's not doing, it's not thinking there. It's not even watching. It's just the way it is, stable. But there may be some things that may sensing of it, like thoughts, oh, yesterday I did that, tomorrow I need to do this. This is watching without interest. It's not doing anything about it. It's just there. Doesn't judge, doesn't do anything, doesn't mind.
When I was flying back from the UK, I saw this movie. I think it was called Vaya. Have you heard of it?
No.
It was about three Zulu people that don't know each other on a train that go to Johannesburg. uh, and it starts with three different stories, but it meshes into one story because they're all end up being connected in this way that you don't see when the story starts, and it basically unravels about their life going to the big city. And it's a hard movie with lots of crime. Have you've seriously never heard of it, huh? I think it was called Vaya. It seems like it would be a
No,
big deal
I
in
don't
South
think.
Africa.
Yeah,
Does Vaya mean something?
yeah. No. Via. mm, it means pass by, pass by. Yeah.
There's the link. It is Vaya.
Thanks.
It's a it's a real interesting view on culture. I mean, I guess they're not Zulu. I mean, they mention one person they keep on calling Zulu, but the idea is they're moving from a small town. They're all moving from small towns to the big town. So they're all
Yeah, I
naive and
think I
they all
know
go,
this.
you know, this movie.
Yeah, no, no, I know the actors.
You know, the
Yeah, I think I
actors.
know this.
The acting was incredible.
Yeah.
It's like I mean, like even like the kids, it was like I couldn't believe how good the acting was.
Mm.
Anyway, you might enjoy the film.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it. Gonna try to watch it.
I just watched it because of you. It's like there's all these movies. I didn't want to watch any of them. I'm like, well, this one takes place in South Africa. Maybe this will help me understand what life is where Nkosi is. And I watch it. I'm like, I hope this isn't anything like life around Nkosi. But anyway, it was interesting culturally. You know, if only because of just how good the story was and how good the acting was. You know,
Mm. Did you ever watch the movie that's called District 9, Cypher from South Africa?
I don't think so. Distant Night,
District 9, District,
District.
District 9, yeah, 9,
Oh, okay. Like this.
District, District, DISTRCT, District
Yeah,
9,
right. That's in the number.
9,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, it's a science fiction
I
movie.
yeah, science fiction.
Oh, it's got
I really
monsters.
enjoyed that one.
Okay. Well, I'll see if I get a chance to watch it here. That looks like one I might be able to watch with my son.
It really, it's the way it happens, the things, how things are. It's almost almost the same as where uh how people are, how people behave. So closest. Yeah, it's very interesting. You'll see it. It's very interesting.
So I'm sorry. So you mean it's like the way people behave in real life or the way people behave in South Africa?
Yeah, in South Africa,
I see.
Africa, when there's a situation or something going on, how people relate to each other, eh, yeah, because it is a movie from South Africa. It's the first sci-fi movie, I think. Yeah, it's
There's
very
only a couple
interesting.
of things I know about South Africa. There's a hip hop band or hip hop outfit with a couple white people that were really extreme. I can't remember. They called themselves Afrikaners or something, but the music was really good. And then there's a book I read called Disgrace, and it was just about apartheid and just the change of the culture after apartheid. And oh, Ninja. So Ninja was one of the guys, and it was the Ant Word, a very strange but very fun hip hop group. You never heard
Yeah,
of that?
I look at it. No, never heard of it.
Okay,
Never heard of it.
I'll
It's
find one of their funny videos and send it to you. It's not church music, but you might enjoy it anyway. District 9. Okay, I'll try to remember.
yeah, it's very interesting. I don't want to tell you what's happening there, but you'll see for yourself.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah.
Okay, Nkosi, I'll let you go. Thank you for your
Okay.
kind words tonight.
Yeah. Yeah, welcome. Always welcome.
Okay, next Tuesday.
Okay.